It is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome between the hedges to Athens, Georgia and Sanford Stadium, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the LSU Tigers, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Georgia Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. He'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Unloads quickly. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down.
I love the play call. First play of the game, there's no mystery. We're going to get one of our best players the football right now and let you know about it. Awesome job.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Back to throw, it's Nicholson. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. Oh, he's got some space. They get him out of bounds. Couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands, and I think if you're on offense, you move.
He's looking deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The defensive back staying in phase and batting it away. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
This dog crowd is off the leash, and they are coming after them, bringing noise on third down. Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. He gets the job done on third down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
They're trying to send a message with this running game. He stopped after a pickup of 4 to the 33.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
That looks like a real simple play by the wide receiver, but give him a ton of credit. That was an excellent route. He never telegraphed that he was breaking to the outside. Kept his eyes downfield, so when he cuts, he's able to get maximum separation from the defender, and that's why that play is successful.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field.
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Tigers!
This defense has their hands full in this game because of what you saw right there. This quarterback is one of the fastest players in the entire country, and he runs one in. They're going to have to do a better job getting hats to him because they know they're going to see the QB run a lot today.
They'll line up to go for 2. Back to pass, it's Nicholson. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Out of the gun to give to the back. Oh, he's got a chance. Got the 1st down and more. He'll go out of bounds right at the 36-yard line, and the running game making its presence felt. They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a 1st down. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like you could tell, they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown. That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
A strike downfield. Ripping off the huge gain down to the 17-yard line.
This defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
The big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
He wants to throw it again. Snagged out of the air. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best.
Touchdown, Bulldogs! Quick strike through the air for the score. I mean, seriously, what do you do against this guy? He is everything you want in a quarterback.
And you can prepare for him all week, and you can put a wide receiver at quarterback to be scout team, but you just can't replicate a guy that can buy time, scramble around, break tackles, and then all of a sudden chuck the ball down the field and make you pay. Just too elite of a playmaker. You just got to find a way to get him on the ground early when you get those opportunities.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. These two teams swapping early scores, and they'll try to move back on top, starting the drive down 7-6. Here's a heat. They get to him as he throws. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on. Nice job by the defense. Getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Handoff to Jones. They believe in that running game. Got 6 before he stopped at the 23.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The dogs are barking and growling and trying to hold him here on 3rd down. Scanning the field, it's Nicholson. Got the quick pass. He works his way up to the 33 and is pushed out of bounds. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Man, this guy is so scary when he has the ball in his hands. He kind of reminds me, he's got a little bit of Leonard Fournette. He's got a little bit of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you know, just that shake and bake. And when they get in the second level, DBs just don't seem to know how to tackle this guy. You don't want to submarine. He might hurtle over you, but if you don't go in with conviction, and he's got the speed to get outside and take it the distance. This dude just makes your heart stop every time he has the ball.
Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good game there.
Well, right away after picking up the 1st down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the ball.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on 1st down. You're starting like that now. What opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
And the Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Quick release by the QB. They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give them a 1st down.
Well, the play fake on the RPO bought the receiver some time to work himself open on the route. That was a man-to-man coverage on the defense. Nice job by the receiver putting his foot in the ground and separating.
The Tigers kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Finds his big tight end. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him, getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football, knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, LSU.
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
And now they'll try to get the 2-point conversion, guys. Trying to pound their way in. He will not get there. Brought down at the 1, and the 2-point try is no good. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield, it's Pratt. Quick strike complete. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the 1st down. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. The give to the tailback. And a short gain here in the 1st quarter will come to a close. While we're only through 1, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the 2nd. Went to the running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation. He already has caught a touchdown on this one. They're still trying to throw him the football. That one goes incomplete, but I would keep this up if I'm on offense.
3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Got enough for the 1st down. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Well, that's kind of the advantage of 3rd and medium, right? Is the defense, you keep them guessing. You can throw it, you can run it. That time they hand it off, and they pick it up.
Yeah, and you can see the D drop back a little bit. It creates a little bit of space. The running back blasts through, gets the 1st down.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
One of the things I love about this defense is they're so versatile in ways they can get after the quarterback. In their last game, they came away with 5 sacks, came from all over the place. They got the win. So you know in this one, they're going to dial up a lot of different looks. It's going to be tough for this offense to try to keep their quarterback standing up straight.
They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. The offense changing the play. Sends it back in motion. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy.
Going deep. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Tigers.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Looking downfield, it's Nicholson. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone.
2-point plays, the windows are very small to throw into. That time, he just tried to force it into a tiny window. It ended up being picked, and the offense comes away with no points.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jim. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. And no shortage of the big boys coming out of Baton Rouge as LSU's defense in the backfield again.
Yeah, you talk about tall, long, athletic, guys that get after the quarterback, LSU, they typically have a lot of those guys. That's a really fun thing to have.
Picked off. What a play to set him up. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Tell you what, when you come out of your own end zone, you know, in the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to get a few 1st downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the exact opposite of what happened. Now you set them up in beautiful scoring field position already. Really bad play by the offense.
Well, he tried everything he could that time just to not take a negative play. He didn't get sacked. It was a great job avoiding that. He's just able to get what he can get on the scramble play here, down close in the red zone.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Back to pass. Quarterback floating away from pressure. He felt the heat, trying to
Perfect execution by this defense. They played pass, sat back, looked at the quarterback, took everything away, and even better, good pass rush, finishes it, now put him in a predictable 3rd and long situation.
Touchdown, LSU! Fired in from the red zone for the score. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here this Week 11 performance.
This quarterback really does a nice job seeing the field and reading coverage. And when you go empty and you spread the defense out, it's easier to see what the defense is doing.
No backs with the quarterback as they line up for the 2. To the air. It's Nicholson. Tosses it incomplete.
Well, every coordinator has a couple of 2-point plays in his back pocket. They dialed one up there. They didn't get it. Let's see how that affects the outcome of this one.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense.